Good morning, everyone. It is Monday, August 31st. I'm Leslie Davenport. If you haven't met me yet, I know some of you have, but this little homework video is for my students who are starting instruction with our studio or myself at Point Park University for this fall. What I'm going to be covering today, everybody, is this first set of Pilates mat work exercises. And I like to think of this group of material as stability exercises. It's true. So every part of the sequence, there are about 10 roughly. The whole sequence doesn't take very long, but the really engaging part about this work is it's very focused. So the more that you know your body and the more that you understand how to connect the different systems in your body, right? Muscular systems, as well as respiratory systems and different joint areas, things like that. The more that you understand how to connect those systems together enables you to get more and more out of this work. So this is an excellent warm-up before an activity. It's an excellent recentering your body for the day. And if you are new to Pilates method, again, clients beginning with me this fall is who I'm sending this for us, right? Point Parkers, as well as one or two of my ongoing clients. Then this is your first batch of material to learn how to do well, all right? So again, this video is really for people, it is for my students in progress with me. It does not serve for instruction, okay? So what you're gonna hear me go through are basic directions, but I hope it stimulates you to kind of dive deeper into it and ask more specific alignment questions in regard to your body and get the conversation started, okay? So if you're at Point Park and we didn't get to be in person today, then I hope that you really enjoy this. I can't wait to meet you guys, okay? So the equipment that you need to get started is a hand towel. This is for head alignment, head and neck joint alignment. And then I really do like to teach clients beginning with a roll-up bar. So if you're at your house or you're in your dorm room, this might be a broom, right? This might be a nice broom pole. You can kind of measure the distance of your width of your shoulders with that. It doesn't need to be fancy. You can also get like a stick at a hardware store or you improvise with anything, okay? So that's for alignment of your upper body system, okay? So getting into the basics. So stability is structural stability of your hips and your back and your chest into your legs, all right? So what we're gonna wanna do is, I will send you guys as well a breathing. There will be a breathing tutorial and there will be a pelvic clock tutorial. That is for you to understand how to create the balance of your hips, right? And then of course, how your breath more or less supports that. Those will be two separate videos, okay? So this is your stability mat. So we're gonna bring ourselves into the floor. Okay. Hope I feel like everybody can see everything. Lost you a little bit. Okay, so if we bring everything into the floor, the first thing we're gonna wanna do, guys, is we're gonna want to essentially make a level body as symmetrical as we can. Okay, so put your hands on your two hip points facing the ceiling. Take an inhale, let your belly be soft, let your abdominals be natural. And then as you exhale, see if you can put your hips down against the floor with even weight, okay? Now, this might be a thought as opposed to be real life yet, but you can kind of hear where we'll be going through the semester too. So we're gonna keep the even weight into the back hip joint. So that's the sacrum joint. So I just want to identify maybe where I need a little more support. And I want to get my hips to be grounded into the mat evenly, back sacrum joint. All right, next thing, moving up through my body. If my legs are long like this, you'll feel the natural arch of your lower spine. That's a good thing. But if it hurts your back, meaning that if you're kind of working through some different muscular issues, or you're taking Pilates on a recommendation of a health professional, you might have your legs bent like this to offer more support to your back, okay? Over time, the lower back muscles get stronger, so this doesn't hurt me to be very open in my hip joint and my back be natural arched right in the lumbar. You can see that. Have a nice, just kind of healthy lower back. All right, so grounded hips, even hips. The next place to understand is we're going to use our breath. And we're going to exhale to put the back of the waistline, so that's under the bust line area for our body, under the shoulders, to put the back ribs against the mat. We want to release tensions of our back muscles here because we're going to want to strengthen those muscles. So we need them to push into the floor. Okay? So next, lengthening your arms up. All right? And then just bring your shoulders up off of the floor, shoulder blades only, and then just connect them back around your back. So you feel like you're making a broad chest, like an open collarbones, wide sternum, but you really are getting your shoulder blades to connect back on the mat. So let's do that a couple times. So we're gonna come up, disengage the shoulders, and re-engaged. I am pushing into my waistline, hips, legs, feet, and re-engaging. Good, last time up, re-engage. All right, so now that you have your shoulders arranged around you, we mentioned this little towel. The towel is to position your head and neck so that the base of the throat has an upward curve, an upward arc here, and it feels like your neck is very relaxed if your head's balanced. So if I was being really honest, for me, I might have one or two of these little guys, a little hand towel. I'm going to place this just behind, not too high, right? But I just want that little bit of something talking to my head so that I can create a balanced head position. So my weight's in the very middle back of my head, the very middle back of my shoulders, very middle back of my rib cage, and then there's my hips. Okay? So that is your basic body positioning. All right? So relax. All right? And we're going to get into our exercises now. So just recapping, the preparatory work for this would be pelvic clock video first. You're going to want to do that first. And then second, you're going to want to look at that breathing, like breathing 3D, little homework reminder that I made back in the spring. Okay, do those two things first. All right, so stability. Grab your bar if you have one. If you don't, improvise. Take your bar above your chest. And connect your body again so everything feels like it gets there and shows up. So we're going to take a nice inhale, kind of longer, and then as you exhale, press the weight in your center back hip joints, middle back ribs, right all around that whole awesome middle body. And then arrange your shoulders so they're even, and then center back head. All right, so our first exercise, a little preparation for hundreds. Inhale, reach your bar away from your middle, but instead of arching your middle, muscularly deepen your middle into the floor. Stay, 2, 3. Inhale, bring the bar up, and then exhale, connect the muscles of your middle again, deepen them into the floor, and pull your chest through your arms by keeping your waist very clear. These are arm arcs. Inhale, come up. Exhale, reach overhead. Stay 1, 2, 3. No arching in your back. Make yourself straight, strong, and long. Coming up. As you bring your bar towards your chest, The shoulders actually wrap around you, coming back around the body. But again, no arching here. Your core is like a column. So as you exhale, we're going to lengthen the column from top to bottom. And then as you come up again, keep that wonderful extended feeling. As you exhale, you lower your arms around your body, but I cannot collapse my chest. I need to learn how to open my chest here because I'm using my center. One more time, everybody. Overhead pulse, 2, 3. Come up. Tailbone long on the mat. Feel the weight in the back of both hips. All right. Keep your bar. Exhale. Heavy hips and legs. Push into your feet and start to lift your spine. Hold your body right there. And then roll back. One more time, push into your feet, ground your hips, roll your chest up to meet the bar. Again, my shoulders are relaxed, but I'm able to keep the chest open because I'm using everything below my shoulders. And then rolling back. One more time. Coming up, coming up, coming up, coming up, coming up. Stay here for a few breaths. The exercise is called the hundreds, so it's 100 beats of movement. So it looks like this. And then rolling back. Okay, so I did about 4 or 5 breaths. I'm going to show you the alternative. So in that exercise, you might start by going 4 or 5 breaths like I showed. You always want to go only as far as you are keeping the quality of your movement. It is quality creates quantity here. So the alternative is if you have your legs bent, right? Start with that upper body motion. Your upper body meets the middle body here. The middle body moves into the floor. Yeah, and you can try the exercise like this as well. Sometimes it's a lot more clear for people starting out. I love this one. With your leg position change, you can feel sometimes much more action in your middle body and the ribs and breath. Last time. All right, good. So both positions are good choices here. How we will know which one is best for you is from us working forward together. Again, these are suggestions and the information, but the application of this information to you is what our job is as a teacher. Okay, so we will do that together. All right, so just use this position for a moment, the bent legs. Arrange your arms beside you. We'll go on to our next group of things. So just review your pelvic block for a moment. Deepen the abdominals and release the lower spine into the mat. So it does feel like the tailbone and the pubic bone roll up. Right, so I just kind of flexed my middle. Now put your tailbone on the floor and lengthen your hips. So you really feel like you sit down in the hip joint and your waist is long and your back has its natural arch, but it's not being forced anyplace else. I don't feel any strain or tension in my back whatsoever. Okay? Practice keeping your hips stable and extending one leg out from your center, and then put the foot on the floor. Do the other side. Now, if your core is, shall we say, kind of needing stability, you will feel like this isn't the hardest thing in the world in your abs, but you will feel like in your back muscles and in your hips muscles, there will be effort there, and that's a good thing. Okay, awesome. Last time, Now find one leg long, knees together. Soften this knee a little bit so it's just a little closer to the hip without the hip grabbing and anything else, okay? And then we're gonna practice taking this leg over to our opposite shoulder and then coming center. Crossing over and coming center. One more time, crossing over, again, without losing those hip balance points, and then put your leg down. All right, take the other side. Leg goes up, you soften the knee a little bit. I want to keep the stability, so I'm gonna use my core to cross and return. Cross and return. Remember what we said at the start of the video is that applying the information is going to be what our work is this semester. So don't worry if you get moving and something goes, well, how in the world am I supposed to do that? And then bring that leg down. All right. So the next exercise is really one leg circles. Okay, one leg circle has a goal of a hip massage. All right, good deal. So you see me just kind of loosening my hips because I've already done a little bit of movement today. I want to make sure to show you my best version. So for one leg circles, reaching the leg nice and long. Exhale, tighten your core and find your body position so that you can bring your leg up to where we started. My knee is soft. I'm going to exhale, press in my core, cross my body, make a loop. Cross my body, make a loop. Where am I working? I feel I'm working in my opposite hip dramatically. I'm working across the middle of my back. And I feel my shoulders. And I've got my wonderful neck position, being straight. All right, change direction. Just the shoulder width, around and up. Shoulder to shoulder, come up. Shoulder to shoulder, come up. No rolling in your hips. You see me keeping my hips even. All right, that's good. All right, second side, right? Alternative placement. If that does not work really great for you, the other way to do the same thing is what we did in hundreds. It looks like that, right? So I'm showing this because you can see it's the same exercise, isn't it? But this is working for my body today a little better. It's Monday. My hips are needing to be woken up. And I can access the right muscles and actions quicker here. All right, so you saw two versions, bent leg, soft knees, or bottom leg straight and extended. Okay, so bring your legs to your body. For single leg pull, otherwise known single leg stretch. Slipped right off my head, feedback, little toe. So exhale. Bring your legs as deeply into your body as you can go. With respect to that symmetry, create a balanced back by pressing evenly in both sides of your body, right to left. Use your breathing muscles. Deepen them so well. Inward, 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 inwards, and against the floor mat. That if you just lightly nodded and use your neck muscles, you could roll your spine up and balance right in the middle of your body. Okay, distribute one leg out to a high diagonal, slightly above 45 degrees, please. Now, if your hands are here, we're gonna look at their hips and we're gonna square off the hips. Okay, then I'm gonna exhale all the breath from my lungs. And I have that exercise. So I change. I square off the hips, breath out of the lungs, putting my waist really down the floor, even hips, and I change. And I change. Yep. So no more than 6 to 10 movements per leg. And down we go. Good. That exercise goal is to evenly distribute the legs in and from your center. All right, so we'll start to find, again, that has a lot more hip information as we progress, but that's the big idea. Double leg pull or double leg stretch. Keep your feet pretty relaxed with your knees open or knees together, either one. Line up the legs again so your back body has as much evenness from right to left. Breath to start. Empty the lungs first. Just that. Really pressing your full breath way, way, way deep in your body. As you bring your legs into you, well, it's going to open up your back. And that back body is what we're moving into. So a little bit of flexion in the neck. Then balancing the head around the center of the body. Double leg pull is expand evenly. Generously. Even, generous. Even, generous. Even, generous. Even, generous. As my body warms up, you can see my movement getting fuller. Oh, there we go. Don't want to lose my chest. Awesome. All right, so good. Next, slide your legs long. Maybe bend one and roll all the way to your front. Okay, so these next 2 exercises have to do with balance. Pilates creates a balanced muscular body system. That's what it does if we do it well. So we did everything to strengthen our front and we were opening our back. So now we're going to open up our front body, right? Ask it to expand. And now we're going to strengthen up our back. All right. So just like nature, there's always this yin yang contrasting effect in your exercises. So lie on your mat face down. Okay, open your feet approximately the width of an ample fist through the upper thigh. So just the hip joint width. And truly make your legs parallel, right? If you are a dancer, if you're a Point Park student, then that is an important detail, okay? So we're going to put the tailbone to the feet by using the hip muscles. And then I'm going to attach my hips to the floor in my upper legs by pressing into my hips. I'm going to activate my core like that. So I'm going to press into my hips, and it really helps keep my hip joints like so happy. Okay? So picture a seat belt across your hips and make a really wonderful seat belt that feels like it wraps all the way around your low abdomen and then hooks you to the mat. Okay, align your head and neck against your hands. And then on a breath, climb into your center so you're straight and strong everywhere. This is swan preparation. We're going to lift the upper body. As we lift the upper body, we will be needing to redistribute the lower body deeper into the floor to balance the movement. One more time. Awesome. Now come up on your forearms to make single leg kick. So I'm showing a triangle, but it is absolutely okay to make this two parallel lines. That has to do with your spine extension and your chest. Okay, again, it's Monday. I'm a little bit more tight today because I play with my family on the weekends. So if you lengthen your tailbone really, really under, use your abdominals and create that strong belt across both hips and attach the belt into the center back of your hip structure right here. Lift upward through the crown of the head and open your chest with good shoulder and arm use. Okay, single leg kick. I'm going to press into my body and pull one leg to me without my hip buckling in the front. That was better. So this exercise has a huge impact for athletes who are very developed in their front lines of the hips and legs. Skaters, runners, dancers, almost any athletic sport that really, really uses the front body. Right? So here, it's really my hamstring and my glute complex, my lower and my back body, which need to connect. All right, rest your back. Awesome. Flip on your side, face me please. Take your body on the back edge of your mat so you can feel the center back of your head, center back of your shoulder blades, the center back of your rib cage, and the center back of your hips, your sacrum or the pelvis. Bring the knees forward and up a little bit and kick the shins out so you feel like you make a nice angle of the hip and the knee and the ankle. My feet are flexed so that I can use my ankles and feet well. Now, draw your abdominals in, please, and lift your waistline up off the mat so you make yourself feel straight. Okay, this is side kick series. So if I don't do this, you see how my waistline dips, but that makes my hips go asymmetrical and crooked, basically, right? One hip is higher, one hip is totally unactivated, and now I'm lounging. Okay, again, great at the beach, awesome on a rest, but not where you want to work out. So I'm going to pick my waist up and make my hips even, so I feel like I'm sitting in a little chair. The top leg lengthens, and the hip that's active is this one, right? Well, they're both working, but this one I'm standing in, my upper thigh, my foot and ankle, and I can make myself straight and strong. It's awesome. Okay, now take your top leg, lengthen out your hips so your hips feel really stacked, top to bottom. Lengthen your waistline and stack your shoulders top to bottom. Stability. Keep your body straight and strong and push through your center to start to move this hip away from your head. It looks like I'm kicking my leg up, but it's because I'm pushing my hip out away. Last one. All right, second set. Flexing the heel, take a kick forward, and then press your leg just slightly behind your sits bones, keeping everything in place. Kick forward, just behind your sits bones. Kick forward, just behind your sits bones. Kick forward, just behind. Kick forward, just behind. Now circles. You can see me rocking a little bit. Whoop, there we go. Monday, change direction. I am going to really make my hips centered. There's my core. Turning on. All right. We roll up to the second side and we switch our sides. Okay, so your placement is center back head. I think it helps to use your arm to mark that. I am on the back of my mat. My shoulders, my ribs, and my back hip joints, my sacrum joints. I'm gonna go ahead and kick myself straight Bring my knees in front of me. That's weird. There we go. And now knees, ankles, shins, feet. Okay. So hand in front of you. I'm about 6-8 inches away from my sternum. Abdominals come up and in. And I really want to feel like my weight is balancing on this bottom hip. This is definitely stronger for me there. So wow, that's a lot better. All right, top leg lengthens out in line with my head. So you would see, these are your hips, right? I'm going to activate them, make them even. I'm going to activate my abdominals and make my shoulders and my back even. Good. This might be like this. Those are details for later. Pushing and pulling. Internally my body. Ah, it's good. I don't know if you can see I have a nice good shake on this side because these series are great for me as an athlete. It attends to the balance of my hips. So important. Forward, slightly behind. Forward, slightly behind. How about, I gotta keep my hips even. They're not gonna do it on their own. I have to learn how. Thank goodness I have a bodywork class. Front and around, and then I have circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, reverse. 1, 2, 3, without rolling my hips. Oh, look, good. Yay, awesome. Okay, come up. Our last exercise for stability mat is called front support. So, we have been laying on our back to create balance. We laid on our front and we laid on our side. Again, such smart work. So now we're going to put our body balancing over both arms and balancing over both legs. My knees are under my hip joint, right? Knee under my hip joint this way. And my hand is under my shoulder. Take a moment and address your limbs, please, first, because I don't know if you noticed, we didn't do a lot with our arms and legs. For stability, I'm going to create the mat at my back. So lining up my head, center top of my head, I'm going to find the mat, the way it felt between my shoulders, the way the mat felt at my upper back, below the bust line at my back ribs, and then way deep low in the center back of my hips. I'm going to create that strong and very long, natural, healthy back. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to address is that when I take my leg out, I'm going to stand on the foot. My weight goes through the 5 metatarsal joints evenly. Then my body takes the second leg back. Right? All 10 toes, all 10 fingers, holding my middle straight and firm and natural, healthy back. Then I come in. So it looks a lot like a plank, doesn't it? Okay? So in movement labs, right, it would be a plank. But I just want you to kind of see this visual. The reason Pilates calls it front support is because the systems of your front body, your upper body system with the middle body and the lower body, hips, legs, and feet, have to understand how to collaborate together to make your spine straight. Okay, so front support is the actions, those internal actions that they do in order to make you straight. So this would be my head, this would be my tailbone, and then you could kind of see that shooting out through my knees, ankles, and feet. All right, so we'll go again. So I hope this improves your yoga or improves your personal training type of work. It just offers a different perspective on something you might have learned before. So address your hands. Make sure that you're really using your hand and arm well so the wrist does not sacrifice. Firm in the arms. Shoulders down your back, wrapping back together broad. Waistline and deep hips, tummy muscles. That belt would be there. Okay? So we go firm, right? Firm. And I'm going to breathe in. When I exhale, my core deepens together inwards. And then up and out through my head, down into the hips, legs, and feet. Hopefully you can use that pole beside you to compare from the center of my head. You can see me working, I'm shaking, it's good. I want to learn to line my body up and be straight because that's where I'll be strongest and the most stable. And we come down. Okay. So brief chat. All right, those are the exercises of stability mat. So we're gonna flash back, recap some things real quick. Again, sometime meeting, kind of getting everybody started with a conversation this way. And I really am anxious for your feedback as a student, as a client. So stability work is your body's muscular systems learning how to collaborate to make you healthy straight, right? Basically making long, healthy spine. So we started getting our body even hips, back ribs, releasing the back, arranging the arms and shoulders, and then we kind of found a really nice balanced neck and head. Every single exercise starts from that same placement, okay? So hopefully you'll go back again, get to see this a few times, play with it, note your questions. Again, play with things, experiment with your body, and we'll do follow-up, okay? So because everything has a central theme, I'd like to do like a compare and contrast. Go into your last exercise again with me, please, the front support, and then just follow me in a transition. Okay, so getting yourself set, stepping into it, lift your hips, and then just work through your feet for a second. So pulling, instead of me pushing your heel down, I'm pulling the sole of my foot open. So I'm going to traction my toes forward. I'm going to pull the toes forward, and I'm spiraling my ankle to see if I can get the ankle joint to release. Ah, so good. Monday. Again, it's really, really amazing because if I do that well, my entire lower leg works. Okay, feel that shoot through my center to my hip. All right, now once you have your feet, walk to your feet. Bend your knees a little bit. All right, get your feet nicely on the floor, toes. Right, nice good ankle work. Release your back. And then deepening from your center, we're gonna roll to upright. So your legs naturally elongate as you stand up. Now just step in the middle of the mat. I know you can't see my head, but take a second and stand up and take your deep breath here. See if you can catch a difference of where you're standing. How does the body balance itself upright on the feet here? Right, so just addressing the feet, balancing in those two wonderful legs to the center of you, hips, back and spine. All right, good. So I will give Point Park students, you'll see a little bit more follow-up from me with just directions about that. And Jeremy, enjoy that. We'll touch base as well. And I will see you soon. All right, here we go.